Hello there friends, and today we are going to be discussing buying your first property. Now, like with anything in life, buying your first one is the most nerve-wracking, and just like you losing your virginity, it can, there's a lot of nerves that come there, a lot of fumbling around in the dark as you don't know what you're doing, but as you do it 2, 3, 4, 10, hopefully hundreds of times, you get better and better, and you can be like a Casanova but in the property world instead. So I'm just going to talk to you today and what I would tell one of my good friends if they want to get started, what they have to do and just the process they have to follow, making it as easy as possible so it's not too intimidating for your good self. So first things first, we have to find our investment area. Now, not all areas are created equal. Some are better than others. For example, if you live in the centre of London, you don't have much money and the price to buy property is very, very high and the rental comparatively is quite low, perhaps this isn't the area for you. But what I would suggest is finding an area that does work for you within about a half-hour drive of that area, and then looking at 100 properties. And yes, you have heard me right, 100 properties, because then you become the expert in that area, in the market you're looking for, and specialise. It could be you're looking at 3-bed, semi-detached houses, terraced houses, and that's your market, and you know exactly the price of each road, what the difference is, why there is a difference, and create those relationships with the estate agents, because they're going to be your best friends when you're in property, as they're going to be bringing you some of your best deals. So look at 100 properties, make loads of offers, and then pick it down to just the best few, and then choose your first one from there, and you have your first deal. Success! So we've looked at 100 properties, now we need to find our mortgage broker, because we've looked at 100, we've got our deal. We need a mortgage broker. We need someone that specialises in buy-to-let mortgages. Most mortgage brokers, they do residential properties. That's what they do day in, day out. We want someone that specialises in our niche and ideally invests in buy-to-let mortgages themselves, as they're going to know just naturally a little bit more because that's what they're dealing with. Having a broker that is good can make a big difference. And if you have to pay for that service, I would recommend paying for it. Sometimes you could pay £500 to a broker to get your deal, and I would say it's well worth it. Many times I've heard people say, I can't get a mortgage, I don't qualify with this, that and the other, because some broker that is overloaded or not a specialist in that area has told them they can't buy a property. But they can. They just need to find the right broker and they can work things around. Buy-to-let property works differently than residential property, as it's done more on the property rather than your own personal income. So even if you're on a low amount, don't let that put you off. You can still get involved in buy-to-let property. So we've looked at 100 properties, we've found our property we want, we've got our mortgage broker now. Now we need a top level solicitor. And just like your mortgage broker, if you have to pay a little bit more for that, it is worth its weight in gold. Trust me, I've just completed on 2 properties and I've had a nightmare with the solicitors. And if I could have paid £500 more to have a stress-free, headache-free solicitor, I would have gladly done so. Now, best way to find your solicitors is to find the busiest local estate agent near to you and ask them who is the best person you have to deal with. Then they'll sort of normally give you a couple of options, speak to both of them, see which one you connect with, see which one can move fast, and then go for them, as that is going to be your best course to get the best solicitor, because no one knows better than your busiest local estate agent. And don't be afraid to pay a little bit more for the services, because trust me, it is most definitely worth it. And speed and taking away hassle, it's worth its weight in gold, if I'm being honest with you. So now we've done those 3 processes, we perhaps need to find a builder. Now, if you are buying a property for the first time, you are not a builder, I would not recommend taking on a massive project where you're having to knock down conservatories, build stuff again from the ground up. This is maybe a step too far, and I would say recommend something just a little smaller. A paint through, changing a bathroom, a kitchen. This is all quite bread and butter work for builders, and you're going to get a lot that want to do the work. Always get free quotes and don't always pick the cheapest one, because sometimes the cheapest actually works out to be the most expensive because they sort of hit you on extra little hidden fees, and sometimes the work isn't good enough and you would actually have been better off picking, you know, a more of a middle priced person that is more honest. And once again, look for recommendations. If you know someone that's done work for someone, they've done a fantastic job, this is a great start. And this is where, if I didn't have a good business partner that could do all that, that's where I would start from. So find your builder. Don't necessarily go for always the cheapest one. And once again, you want to be able to speak to someone. You know, are these people, can they work with you? Are they fast? Are they able to do the work quickly? Because each month that goes by, this is months lost in rent, and you have to equate that, you know, in your bill. So if there's a 6-month waiting list, they might be amazing, but that's no good to you. Also, really allow for things will go wrong. The last refurb we did, we wanted to put in a new kitchen, quite straightforward. We did that, and then as we pulled out the old kitchen, we realised the floors were rotten. So we didn't have to replace all the floors. And this is just, you wouldn't know that until you pulled out the kitchen, realised there's been a leak, and you know the chipboard underneath it was rotten. You know, that was one extra job, took more time, more money, etc. And you just don't know until you rip something out. So always allow extra, always allow more than what you think it's going to be. Have a little contingency pot to the side, as that will come in very, very handy, I am sure. So these are the sort of 4 key principles you need to do when you're first buying a property. Now, also realise, you know, as an investor, we do have to pay more money for stamp duty. It's 5 points for investors or second home buyers. So have that in the back of your mind, that you do have to have that extra for your stamp duty. It's very easy to work this out as well. Just go to stamp duty calculator, put in if it's, you know, your second home investment property, and it will work out the stamp duty for you. It'll allow about £2,000 for solicitors' costs, and obviously your building costs as well. So this is all I have for you today. This is buying, you know, your first property, the most intimidating one, but don't be afraid, get out there and make it work for you. Thank you for watching.